An unfortunate incident that happens, unexpectedly, and unintentionally, typically resulting in damage or injury is called an accident. However, some of the accidents created life-changing discoveries in the world. Let's explore some of them in this video. Matches. The match was accidentally created in 1826, by a British pharmacist named John Walker. He was developing a test paste, that might be used in guns. He made a breakthrough when the wooden tool he was using to combine the ingredients, in his paste caught fire, as he scraped it. He converted this accidental compound, a flammable paste with potassium chlorate, antimony sulfide, and gum arabic, dipped into cardboard strips coated with sulfur. He started selling his invention to the locals in April 1827, and they quickly took off. It's unclear why Walker never patented his invention. There was a risk of burning sulfur coating that would sometimes drop from the stick, with a risk of damage to flooring or the user's clothing. His invention was quickly copied by Samuel Jones of London and sold as lucifers in 1829. The first matches included white phosphorus. Eventually, matchmakers stopped using white phosphorus in matches, and it was outlawed in the United States in 1910. Advances in matches continued over decades. The first artificial sweetener. Constantine Fallberg, who was a chemist, was working with chemistry professor Ira Remsen, noticed a sweet taste in his hand. He recognized that it is from the coal tar derivative, benzoic sulfamide. He named the compound Saccharine. He and Remsen created O-sulfamoyl benzoic acid, which is a synthesized saccharin. In the mid-1880s, Saccharine started manufacturing in Germany. The head chemist of the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Harvey Wiley, proposed a saccharin ban because it became controversial regarding food additive concerns. "If someone says saccharin is harmful to health, that is an idiot," said President Theodore Roosevelt, who needed to lose weight. Saccharin became popular during World War I due to the lack of sugar production. In 1977, Congress passed an act that made it compulsory for the sweetener's packaging to bear a cancer warning label, after food scientists found out that saccharin causes bladder cancer in rats. In year 2000, the warning label requirement was lifted, with the discovery of the metabolism of saccharin in humans, different from the metabolism of saccharin in rats. Another amazing discovery was penicillin. On September 3, 1928, after returning from vacation, Alexander Fleming started sorting through petri dishes containing colonies of Staphylococcus, the bacteria responsible for abscesses, boils, and sore throats. He noticed something unusual on one dish. It was dotted with blobs of mold colonies, and around those colonies were clear. The zone immediately around the mold was later identified as a rare strain of Penicillium notatum. And that mold had secreted something that inhibited bacterial growth. Fleming discovered that his mold juice could destroy a variety of dangerous bacteria, such as Streptococcus, Meningococcus, and the diphtheria bacillus. He assigned the challenging task of extracting pure penicillin from the mold juice to his subordinates, Stuart Craddock and Frederick Ridley. They could only prepare a very little amount of solution, because it turned out to be exceedingly unstable. Penicillin's possible therapeutic advantages appeared in Fleming's findings, which were published in the British Journal of Experimental Pathology in June 1929. Another interesting story of accidental discovery is cornflakes. As medical historian Howard Markle writes in his book The Kellogg's the battling brothers of Battle Creek. Tracing the exact origins of Kellogg's Corn Flakes is difficult, due to the many competing versions of the story. Kellogg's wife, Ella, and his brother, Will, who worked as his assistant, and did much of the administrative work necessary to run the sanitarium, worked alongside him in the kitchen, and both lays claim to playing a role in the Flakes invention, as do several other family members and sanitarium employees. According to company history, it was one night in 1898, when a batch of wheat-based cereal dough was accidentally left out for an extended period to ferment. When rolled out into thin sheets, the slightly moldy dough produced perfect, large thin flakes, that became crispy and tasty, in the oven. Over the next several years, Will Kellogg kept experimenting with the recipe and figured out that, corn rather than wheat, produced even crunchier, crispier flakes. The next story I'm going to tell you is about X-ray. After 7 weeks of diligent work, researching the characteristics of cathodic ray tubes, W.C. Röntgen found a new sort of radiation, able to pass through screens of considerable thickness. He announced the discovery of X-rays in December 1895. He gave them the term X-rays to emphasize the unknown. As early as January 1896, doctors and scientists used X-rays on patients, to examine the skeleton, then the lung and other organs. This was radiology's birth. The invention of the X-ray paves the way for many other inventions. Such as X-rays were able to ionize the gas, and the study of this phenomenon led to the discovery of electrons, in 1897. H. Becquerel researched the function of the phosphorescence of the glass of the tube to understand the emission of X-rays, and while doing that, he discovered radioactivity in March 1896. The scientific revolution at the end of the 19th and the start of the 20th centuries was sparked by the discovery of X-rays and radioactivity. Research on radioactive materials proved that atoms exist, confirming what most physicists had previously merely accepted as a handy hypothesis for describing chemical reactions. Moreover, the interaction of particles emitted by radionuclides and atoms enabled first the study of the structure of the atom, and subsequently its nucleus. The microwave oven is the next accidental invention I'm going to talk about. Percy LeBaron Spencer accidentally discovered microwave cooking. He was working on magnetrons, highly powerful vacuum tubes that produce brief radio waves known as microwaves. The engineer discovered that the candy bar in his pocket had melted while he was working. Spencer quickly understood that the magnetrons were the source of this event. He had already applied for a patent in 1945 for his microwave-powered metal frying box, now called a microwave oven. Fireworks is the next story. According to mythology, the unknown cook, in China, was simply experimenting in the kitchen 2,000 years ago. The cook mistakenly combined 3 basic kitchen ingredients: charcoal, sulfur, and saltpeter. The combination erupted when it was crushed in a bamboo tube. Why the cook did that is beyond us. Even though there are many accidental inventions, I thought to share with you the invention of brandy, as the last invention for today's video. A Dutch shipmaster tried to make wine more transportable in the 16th century by using heat to concentrate the alcohol. To add water once he got there. However, he soon realized that concentrated wine tastes far better than wine that has been watered down. As a result, he just dropped the water part of his idea and gave his new alcoholic beverage the Dutch name brandewine, which means burnt wine. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please share the accidental inventions that you know in the comments. Have a blissful day. Thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing, liking, and sharing, which means a lot to me. I love to see your thoughts in the comment section.